Hello, wonderful dreamers, and welcome to our FantasyGleam magical story time. Snuggle up in your cozy beds, close your eyes, and let's journey to a land of wonder. Have you ever wondered what happens when someone refuses to help, avoids work, and never learns the value of kindness, and then gets a chance to change? In today's story, we meet two sisters, one diligent, one lazy. Their lives take very different paths. You'll follow how kindness, perseverance, and humility can turn even the laziest heart around. Stay till the end, because this tale has surprising magic, hard lessons, and a powerful transformation. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a father and his two young daughters. The father was growing old and had limited strength, while his daughters had grown into adulthood. Though both were his beloved children, their temperaments could not have been more different. One daughter was industrious and hardworking, so diligent that from morning until night she carried out tasks. The other daughter, however, was lazy and idle. She refused to lift a finger more than absolutely necessary. Every day, while the diligent sister swept, cleaned, cooked, and mended, the lazy sister would lounge around, resting, complaining, or daydreaming of an easy life. "Why should I get my hands dirty now?" she would ask. "You already started the cleaning, so I'll just rest." She would lie in the shade or wander about doing nothing. Their father, now weary and aged, could barely manage the small household. Their meals were humble, a thin soup and dry bread at evenings, nothing more. One day, he called his daughters to him and spoke with a heavy heart. "My dear daughters," he said, "you are both grown now. I have loved and cared for you both, but I can no longer manage alone. It is time you take responsibility for your own lives. Each of you should find a job and support yourselves." The diligent daughter nodded eagerly. "Yes, father, I will find a job." The lazy daughter yawned and said, "Sister is better suited for that. I think I will do the housework instead after all. Someone must keep the home tidy." Their father looked on, hopeful. The next morning, the diligent sister left home to seek work. Before she departed, her father called her back and gave her a fatherly piece of advice. "My dear daughter, always help those in need and never refuse a request for help. Be diligent, love your work, and perform any task given you with all your heart." Tears in her eyes, she promised, "Father, I will remember your words always." With that, she set off along the road, determined. Meanwhile, the lazy sister remained behind, claiming to do the housework, but day after day, the house grew messier and more neglected. She refused to sweep, refused to cook, and let dust and clutter accumulate in every corner. The diligent daughter walked for many days. Though the road was long and tiring, she pressed on. Eventually, she came upon a gnarled tree whose branches were dry and brittle, and whose roots lay exposed. "Young girl, will you clean my dry branches and pour water to my roots?" the tree asked in a faint whisper. Though her own hands would be bruised and her water supply scarce, the diligent girl said, "Yes, I will help." She cleared away dead twigs, pruned the branches, and used what little water she possessed to moisten its roots. Her palms blistered, her strength waned, but she persisted. The tree sighed. "Thank you, young girl. But now your water is all gone." She replied, "That is okay. You needed help, and I helped. I can find water further along." And so she left, determined onward. A little further she came upon a hearth, a stone fireplace and oven, badly cracked and in ruin. The hearth spoke, "Young girl, repair me, make me whole again." Once more she knelt, fetched mud from nearby earth, and painstakingly patched the cracks. She got dirty and dusty in the process, but she said, "Your need is more important than my clothes." Leaving the hearth behind, she continued. Soon after, she encountered a lamb that was soiled black with coal or soot. "Oh, please, young girl, bathe me in the nearby lake," bleated the lamb. Without hesitation, The girl bathed the lamb in the cool water. The lamb's wool turned snowy white again. "You saved me," said the lamb gratefully. "But see, you are drenched now," she replied. "That's okay. Because you needed help, I helped you." So the diligent girl continued walking, though tired and worn. As night drew near, she saw in the distance a beautiful house, shimmering in the moonlight. It was the home of 7 fairies. Approaching humbly, the girl apologized for coming uninvited and said she was seeking work. The fairies welcomed her and gave her a job. She was to clean 6 rooms every day, but she must never enter the 7th room under any circumstances. The diligent girl accepted wholeheartedly. For a whole year, she rose each morning, cleaned the 6 rooms with precision and love, and never peeked at the forbidden room. She remembered her father's advice: do the task given with diligence and respect. One day, after the year had passed, she asked permission to return home. "Certainly, dear girl," the fairies said. "But first, we want to show you your reward." They led her into the 7th room. There, piles of gold and silver coins gleamed and glowed. The fairies said, "Now roll about in these coins. Anything that sticks to you is yours to keep." With laughter and gratitude, the girl tumbled in the coins, letting them cling to her hair, clothes, and skin. She took her share and prepared for the journey home. On her way, she re-encountered the lamb, the hearth, and the tree, all of which had been aided by her earlier kindness. The lamb was covered now in pearls, and it offered as many as she wished. The hearth gave her fresh, warm loaves of bread and delightful cakes. The tree bore fruit and sweet grape juice, gifting them generously. With each encounter, she took what was offered, giving thanks. At last, she arrived home. Her bundle was heavy with gold, pearls, fruit, and bread. Her father and the lazy sister ran to greet her in awe and jealousy. The lazy sister, seeing her sister's wealth, exclaimed, "I must go too, to find a rich employer. If she got pearls, I will find emeralds." Without even waiting for her father's counsel, she departed. The lazy sister walked, dreaming of riches and fame. After some time, she came upon the same tree with dry branches, and it asked, "Will you help me?" She huffed, "No, I won't dirty myself under the sun. My hair will get messy," and she walked away. A little further, the broken hearth asked for repair, but she scornfully refused, fearing her hands would be soiled, her nails ruined. She went onward. Then the filthy lamb begged to be bathed, but she screeched, "EW, disgusting. Stay away, you dirty thing," and she fled. Finally, she reached the magnificent house of the 7 fairies and asked for work. The fairies said, "You may clean 6 rooms, but never enter the 7th. She reluctantly agreed, at least for a while. She cleaned obediently for some months, but eventually her curiosity overcame her. She entered the forbidden room, and instead of gold and silver, bees and bats swarmed. In self-defense, she ran, but not before being stung and scarred. Terrified, she fled the house. She passed by the lamb now covered with pearls, but it broke away from her attempts to approach. She tried to take bread from the hearth, but it was burning hot, and her hands were scalded. She tried to pick fruit from the tree, but wherever she reached, the tree would lean away. Exhausted, injured, and without reward, she wandered for 2 days until she reached home. Her father and sister were shocked by her injured, unkempt appearance. She told, trembling, of the events that had befallen her. The father, wise and saddened, said, "Now you see, dear daughter, the value of honest work and kindness. When you are diligent and just, blessings will follow you. But when you refuse to help and indulge laziness, misfortune will come." From that day on, the lazy sister changed her ways. She ceased her idleness, labored alongside her sister, and gradually earned respect and prosperity. The 2 sisters lived together in harmony, productive and content for the rest of their days. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the Lazy Girl's adventures. A tale of two sisters, one who embraced diligence and kindness, and one who learned her lesson the hard way. May this story remind you that helping others, working with sincerity, and resisting temptation will always bear fruits in life. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe so we can bring you more enchanting bedtime stories. Leave a comment. Which sister's journey touched you more, and why? Until next time, may your dreams be magical and full of kindness